I'm very sensitive to energy. And so, and because you go into people's homes, you're in their bathroom, you're in the kitchen, you're in their lip, they think they know you. And they think they have a right to say certain things because we're not clear and conscious of the energy we send out. So through the emails, through the social media, people were coming to my home. I was getting death threats because they didn't like something I said or did. And I'm like, I want to be free of this. I don't want this.
One time for Darian, who sent me this, that's Iyanla Vanzant. She appeared on the Tamara Hall show, and Tamara got her to reveal more about why she really left her show. She was on the OWN network, Iyanla Fixed My Life. That show went on for almost 10 seasons. But before we get into it, take a second to make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Click that notification bell for all updates. If you're new to the channel, include new subscriber in your comment below, and I'm going to try my best to get back to all of you. Not going to waste any time here. Let's go ahead and get into it.
My principle was freedom. I wanted freedom.
Yeah, she wanted freedom, all right. And I'm not just talking about on the show, but the ones giving her all these problems off the show as well.
Freedom to be, to do, to go. And doing a show, you don't have no freedom. So I took a stand for what I value.
Well, this is why this shocks me, Iyanla. You talked about the freedom. I was stunned, the team was stunned when we heard that part of that freedom you desired was being free of criticism and being scrutinized, and that people watching the show would scrutinize things like your hair and your nails, and you'd just grown tired of folks being what you said was mean and nasty.
And you see, Tamara, she's not gonna say it, and Iyanla, she's not gonna say it either. But who are they talking about? They're talking about Black women. It was Black women online talking about her nails and her hair, or what she was wearing. These toxic Black women being mean and nasty, just like the ones who called up April Mason's team, cursing out her customer service, and then saying all kind of crazy stuff to her online as well. These are Black women coming for other Black women when they believe that they're getting off code with the sisterhood and telling the truth about their bad behavior. Iyanla said these women, they're out of order. They got mad at her. We all know that the most petty person that you'll ever meet is a Black woman. It's really no secret, everyone knows. And the nasty attitudes in Black women that the men complain about all the time, it's the same reason why Black women also can't get along with each other. Every single Black woman listening to this right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because they don't just show these nasty ways to men, they do it to you too. Most likely, they already ran the men off with their ways. Men don't like drama and confrontational women, so yeah, they get away from you.
I'm very sensitive to energy. And so, and because you go into people's homes, you're in their bathroom, you're in the kitchen, you're in their lip, they think they know you. And they think they have a right to say certain things because we're not clear and conscious of the energy we send out.
Yeah, I agree with y'all on that. But even for people who do know you, you don't have to sit around and take that from people. The truth is, a lot of these women, they will fall out with you if you tell them the truth about their bad behavior, whether you know them or not. It's women who fall out with a therapist because they're not telling them what they want to hear. A lot of these women, they have mental issues. They are mentally and emotionally unstable, and you can't do anything about it. They need professional help. And the best thing you can do for yourself is to stay away from them before they infect you. 48 Laws of Power. I read that book when I was a teenager. I believe it's law number 10. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. Someone else's misery, it could be the cause of your own demise. People's emotional state, it's infectious. So not only is it a disease, but it can spread quickly.
So through the emails, through the social media, people were coming to my home. I was getting death threats because they didn't like something I said or did. And I'm like, I want to be free of this. I don't want this.
You were getting death threats?
Yeah, I got death threats around certain shows, around certain issues, around things that I said. People come to my home, because with the internet, they can find you anywhere. And, they would come to my home.
Yeah, that's what these crazy Cruellas do. If you make them unhappy, their goal is to try to wreak havoc on you any way possible. They don't even want you to be able to breathe if you don't say what they want you to say. Think about how easy it is to cut the TV off. They did not have to watch Iyanla's show. I watched most of the episodes on that show, and the ones that bothered these Cruellas the most happened to be the shows where she called out toxic mothers, their relationships with their sons, daughters, sometimes multi-generational. She was the only person on cable TV doing this. Even on social media, it's hard to find a woman specifically calling out baby mamas and single mothers. That's because most women, they're holding the line. They don't want to cross the line. They may feel some sort of allegiance to the group because they're a single mother themselves, and they just don't want to ruffle any feathers. That's because that target audience is the base for a lot of businesses, and Black women in general too. This is why no one can say anything about them. And that's another thing too. The people defending this stuff, you're gonna have to really stop doing that. Believe it or not, there are some single mothers who watch this channel and they support the message because they don't fit into the toxic mothers category. Why is it that some of you are identifying with this? If you are not a toxic mother, then I'm not talking about you. If you are not a rebel, then I am not talking about you. But attempting to argue with me about how you are not a rebel, you do know that you're just proving my point, right? That you're a rebel. It's so bad they didn't even want Iyanla breathing if they didn't approve of what she was saying.
They would call me. I know you don't know me, but I need help. Wait a minute, hold up. And I have so many vehicles and avenues where I serve people. I'm on social media, I have classes, I teach. You don't get to call me on my private phone at 2:00 in the morning. And so I just wanted to be free of that.
You wanted to be free.
That was more important to me.
Just totally disrespectful, totally selfish. Calling this woman in the middle of the night, don't even know her. If you really want to talk to her, she's teaching classes. You can book a session. But to disrupt her privacy, calling in the middle of the night, being disrespectful and out of order. So then she talked about what's going on right now.
I'm doing what I really love, what gives me freedom. I don't have to have producer meetings. I don't have to worry about lighting.
Crying on TV because you're on a podcast,
And I'm teaching online. And one of the things that I became very aware of is how the pandemic impacted people's relationships and how nowhere in our life, not elementary school, church, college, do people give us the skills and the tools to make our relationships better.
Yeah.
We hear about what to do, but what are the everyday practical skills and tools?
Yeah.
So the R spot is going to be my podcast, like the G spot. I want to get into those places that make relationships better.
Well, I love it.
You know, I really don't blame Iyanla. April Mason also made changes to her business based on the actions of these Cruellas. These are Black women walking away from checks because they said it's not even worth dealing with them. On was cutting $1 million checks to Iyanla. April Mason, she's walking away from a lot of money too. But you know it's bad when people are saying that you can't even pay them to work with you. The women they're talking about and the women I talk about, they are so stubborn, so toxic, so combative that you can't even pay people to work with you. Iyanla walking away from millions of dollars. That's because money isn't always everything. These Cruellas will drain you. That's why you avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. And whatever you do, just don't allow their disease to spread to you. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below. After what age do you think it's impossible to really help these women? Shout out to Aunt Jones and Dark Power. I appreciate you all for your support for this channel. Want to see more content like this? You can support as well. Links to the Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis? Want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.